guys, welcome back to another Bums Blitz video. I'm your host, The Bum. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do that. Just click the little red button down below. Also, while you're there, give me a little thumbs up. We're trying to get 20 thumbs up this week. It will really help the video out. In this week's video, we're going to be doing a sit-start type thing. Really not sure of the format just yet, but hopefully we'll get it going in the upcoming weeks. I do plan on doing this once a week, probably Wednesdays. Then I'll probably put out another video on Friday covering injuries or some sort of news type show. And then on Sunday, 30 minutes before the games start at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll do a live on YouTube. So you'll definitely want to be subscribed for that and get the notification every time I do go live. So let's get started with this video, starting with our sits and starts. First guy I'm going to talk about truly pains me. I mean, I don't want to tell you not to play this guy, but I have to because it's just the right thing to do. Kelvin Benjamin is going to be a great wide receiver this year. I truly believe that. That's what I think, okay? But this week it's just not the right time. He's coming off the injury. He's not fully in football shape just yet, stamina-wise. I mean, he's there with his legs. He could do everything he needs to do, but stamina-wise, it just takes a little bit longer. And they're saying that he's going to be on like a pitch count. I'm not really putting too much stock in that because if he's playing well, I think he will just play. If he's playing well and he's at 30 reps and they said the number is 30, they're not going to just take him out. They're going to put him out there if he's feeling good, doing well. So I don't buy into that too much. But what I do buy into is the matchup. And Denver Broncos have some of the best defensive backs in the league, probably the best core in the league, if not the top three. So, that being said, it's just the right thing to do to sit him this week. They're saying that he's going to be a little bit limited in snaps. Okay, whatever. If that's kind of true, then when you add on top the fact that he's going up against Aqib Talib or any of those cornerbacks in that system, it just doesn't sound like something I want to do for the first game of the year, especially if I have a guy like Fitzgerald or Alan Hurns, something like that. So one of those players, I could live with sitting Benjamin for 1 week and playing one of those players that I know will come out and produce for me. So if you have him, I've already done it. Probably sit him unless you don't have any other options. It's just not a good. I'm not telling you to play Stephon Diggs for him. So definitely, weigh the options, see who you have, and if possible, sit him down. The next person I want to talk about is Jamal Charles. Obviously, he's not going to be playing this week. So who's the next guy up? I think Spencer Ware is a great play for you this week. He's going to be a guy who will score points they're at home. They play well at home. He's actually played well against San Diego. San Diego's defense is not that great. He's actually been 19 for 148 and 2 touchdowns last year when he played against them. So he's had some numbers. It's a good matchup for him. So if you're playing maybe in dailies or if you need a guy to spell Bell, since Bell is out, Spencer might be the guy that you put in there. So feel safe playing him. It's not dumb. I wouldn't stress if you have to. If you were a Charles owner that handcuffed Spencer, good job. If you didn't, you should have. But yeah, definitely play Spencer with some confidence this week. Another guy, a guy that no one is talking about, is Jessie James. Jessie James is the tight end for the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially since Ladarius Green went down with all the injuries and on PUP for 6 weeks. So we're going to get 6 weeks of this second-year tight end. He's 6'7". He's pretty fast, and he's a red zone target. Heath Miller was always a guy who got touchdowns. Now, he didn't have a lot of receptions because in that offense they don't really focus on the tight end that much as a guy who gets a lot of plays, but they do throw it to the tight end in the end zone. I really like him. No one is drafting him like at all. I think I got him with the last pick in my drafts probably 3 or 4 times, and he's going to be a starter. So why not try him out? He's a sneaky play, especially in dailies. I really like him in dailies. He's going for like $4,500 on Fanduel. It's a really nice price, especially if you want to get some of those higher paid players. Next, I want to talk about is Vincent Jackson. Vincent Jackson could have a really nice game here. He's healthy. They're gonna want to throw in this game because Atlanta, they have good defensive backs, but I think as a whole they've beefed up on the defensive line. Their linebackers are getting better, and that coach is a defensive guy. He came over from Seattle, so he's going to want to stop the run. I think that might be a focus. Plus, you have Evans on the side who will do really well, but he's going up against one of the best corners in the league. So I think that Vincent Jackson is now open for some one-on-ones. And since I think Winston will have a better year this year, I think it's a sneaky play. I don't know if he'll score 20 points or not, but like I said, if you're really struggling for a spot, he's 77% owned on Yahoo. He might be a guy that you go out and play. Now, Christine Michaels, he is ahead of Rawls on the depth chart. Now, some of you may not know that because, Rawls has been a high draft pick over the last couple of months. He's not the starter right now. Christine Michaels is. And right now, it looks like Christine Michaels can actually, run away with the job. Rawls doesn't have it sewn up. He was a starter for a couple of weeks last year before he got hurt. But Christine Michaels, he's a high draft pick, so he's a guy that they had hopes for. If he runs well, if he figured out, his life really, then he's a guy that they could really lean on. And so this is like a tryout for him. He's going to get the majority of the reps. They say that Rawls might be involved, but they're not going to rush it. So really, Michaels is the play in this game. I would definitely sit Rawls this time around, especially if you have someone else who is going to get the majority of the snaps. But Michaels might be the guy that you're really looking at, and if he's in waivers, go after him because he could definitely be the guy that runs away with this job. I mentioned Alan Hurns a little bit ago about a replacement for Kelvin. Hurns is going up against a second year cornerback in Green Bay. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. Green Bay is going to be able to score against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's defense has gotten better, but they're not great. And I think since they got the weapons back with the Packers, they're going to want to throw, they're going to run, and it's going to force Jacksonville to have to make some plays. Sam Shields is a good corner. He's going to be all over Robinson. I think it opens up one-on-one chances for Hurns against a young guy who is a good player, but still, I think Hurns is the better player. So look out for that matchup, especially in dailies. It's a good price for him as well. A really sneaky one. I like the matchup against the Raiders. The Saints are going up against them. I think it might be a high scoring game as well. It's in New Orleans. It's Michael Thomas is the guy that I want to play. I just going off a gut feeling. The matchup is good. They're at home, and he's a rookie. He might have a little bit going on, like a little bit of adrenaline. We always see those guys kind of bust out sometimes. So, he's in a perfect position to do so this week, especially with Brandon Cooks over there taking some of the pressure off of him. He's a big guy, and I saw him make a couple really nice catches in preseason. I'm really high on him. I think he could have a really good year, and I think this week we'll at least get a preview of what he can do. Definitely play him. If you are light on wide receiver or in really deep leagues, he's a really nice play. I think he could score double-digit points this week. And then a sneaky defense that I don't know if a lot of people are even thinking about is Detroit. Detroit is a pretty good defense. They get after the quarterback. They have some DBs over there. And they're also going up against a turnover machine right now, which is Andrew Luck. They're not playing that well. They don't look that good. Luck can't really stay up. I think it's a nice play, especially if you're a guy who's streaming. I stream a lot of my defenses, so maybe it's worth a chance to go out there. I don't really like a lot of the other matchups. I think this week might be a little bit of a scoring week, which is different because most years the first couple weeks are low scoring. It really looks like a high scoring week, but I've seen that before, and then every score is in the teens. So who knows? I do think that Detroit is a nice sneaky play, especially for dailies. It, might be something worthwhile to watch. All right, guys, that's it for this week's video. Hopefully you got a little something out of it. Remember, if you haven't already done it, subscribe to the channel. Click the little red button down below. Also, give this video a thumbs up. We're trying to get 20 thumbs up this week. And yeah, sorry if it was a little bit jumbly. I know it's a little bit long as well, but you guys said you kind of like the long videos, so there it is. I talked about a lot of players. Hopefully you like the content that you got. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. It was a kind of a fun video to make, so hopefully you enjoyed it as well. Like I said, if you ever need any help, especially on the weekends when it's time to make those lineup decisions, tweet me at BumsBlitz. My website is bumsblitz.com, and my Facebook, you could find me at BumsBlitz Fantasy Football. I make it real simple for you. And that's all I got. Remember, I might be going live 30 minutes before the kickoff at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So watch out for that on YouTube. Subscribe, and I will see you later.